despite apparent plans to buy advanced Russian fighter jets and the United States rebuffing the requests for years. The United Arab Emirates reportedly remains interested in joining the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter program. The U.S. government has had long-standing concerns that such a sale could undermine Israel's so-called qualitative military edge in the region, but JET's controversial and centralized computer brain, known as the Autonomic Logistics Information System, ALIS, might actually help soothe those fears. On November 4, 2017, Defense News reported that experts and insiders had made clear that the UAE had a continued desire to buy F-35s, in spite of the United States' repeated rejections of its requests. The Gulf country has been seeking a preliminary briefing on the program since at least 2011. However, U.S. President Donald Trump and his administration have already approved a number of politically sensitive arms deals that the previous administration of President Barack Obama had been inclined to delay or block outright. The Trump team has agreed to consider the request, an anonymous former Pentagon official told Defense News. It's not a yes yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen once the dust settles. The dust in this case is an ongoing and complex political dispute between a number of traditional American allies in the Middle East, including the UAE, and Qatar, which began in June 2017 and is something we at the War Zone have explored in detail previously. The United States had reportedly been working behind the scenes to smooth over the situation, which has threatened to disrupt American military operations against ISIS in Iraq and Syria. Both the UAE and Qatar host thousands of American personnel at major air bases, which are essential to the coalition air campaign against the terrorists, as well as other regional counter-terrorism and security efforts. It's not clear how much that dispute had really impacted American arms trade in the region, though. In May 2017, the United States announced plans for a more than $100 billion arms package for Saudi Arabia, which has since led the multinational boycott and economic blockade against Qatar. The next month, with the crisis in full swing, Qatar confirmed it was moving ahead to buy advanced American F-15QA fighter jets. Earlier in November 2017, the U.S. State Department approved the possible sale of $1.1 billion support package, including military construction projects to expand the country's air bases, to go along with those aircraft. The Trump administration has made clear that containing Iran and its influence in the Middle East and beyond are among its top policy goals, and the UAE is a key partner in that undertaking. Emirati F-35s would serve as a clear deterrent to any overt Iranian military action in the Persian Gulf or elsewhere in the Middle East. In addition, they could be a valuable tool for gathering electronic intelligence on Iranian air defense networks and other capabilities during even routine patrols. Instead, it is the U.S. government's policy of doing everything in its power to maintain Israel's qualitative military edge that seems to be the real issue keeping the UAE locked out of the F-35 program. Enshrined into American law, the United States has an obligation to make sure that arms sales do not degrade Israeli military superiority over its neighbors, regardless of their relationship with the government in Jerusalem. The way our policy works now is Israel versus all other Arab countries, Danny Sedbright, president of the U.S. UAE Business Council, a Washington, D.C. based lobby group, told Defense News. But they have no negative intentions toward the Israelis and don't see themselves going to war with them. And as such, they don't want decisions being held up based on how other Arab countries may affect Israel's QME. In this case, Israel may be increasingly inclined to agree for both political and technical reasons. The UAE shares a number of foreign policy objectives, especially with regards to Iran. In addition, Emirati forces routinely take part in U.S.-led and other multinational counter-terrorism operations against Islamist extremists. And though it does not recognize Israel diplomatically, the government in Abu Dhabi has cultivated increasingly military relations with the country and participates in training exercises with Israel Defense Force, IDF, personnel in third-party countries. In March 2017, the Israeli Air Force sent personnel to Greece to join their Greek, Italian, American, and UAE counterparts for an aerial drill called Inihas 2017, as seen in the video above. But what might finally convince Israel and its political allies in the United States to finally let the UAE into the F-35 club is the IDF's own unique relationship with the jet. In May 2017, the Israeli Air Force revealed it would be getting a one-of-a-kind Joint Strike Fighter test bed to help develop its own future modifications and upgrades largely independent of the global program's management. On top of that, Israel is the only country to have secured the rights to conduct its own depot-level maintenance, including on engine and airframe components, within the country.